Stream. Hello YouTube, it's me John Avenger once again and welcome back to Fear Month on my channel. This is a review of a 1990 remake from the mind of George Romero, directed by Tom Savini this time. Yes, this is the remake, not the 1968 version of Night of the Living Dead. Yes, the remake. And I finally got to see it again after several years because I hadn't seen the film in a long time. And it still holds up really well. I miss horror when it was not like a shitty reboot, a shitty remake, or a sequel that no one asked for. And this it's still well done for 1990. Because again, it's a horror movie with absolutely no CGI. It's got a great cast. I'll get to that soon. And good directing vision, and the budget was just as low. Well, it was higher than the original, obviously. The original was a black and white movie with barely any budget, and this one is a 1990 movie. It was done many years later. It was what, like 78, 88, 90, yeah, more than 20 years later. And yeah, and it's respectful to the original. Not everything is beat for beat the first film. It also is written by George A. Romero, so he did the screenplay. Rest in peace, George Romero. We miss you. It came out October 19th, 1990, when I was a little kid. 88 minutes long, too. The budget was $4 million, $4.2 million, and it made $5.8 million. While not a massive hit, it still made a profit. Unlike some of the summer movies we got this year, especially Malignant, which is like the most recent horror film to come out this past summer, that flopped because nobody went to go see it. But this one, they did. And also, this film had to be cut. This was going to be an NC-17. That would have doomed this movie, and it would have made $1 million and flopped. But Savini had to cut several scenes from the film. Yeah, because the blood in this movie is, yeah, there's way more violence in this than the original. That's one thing I can count on. It's like the remake of The Blob. And also, I do like that the lead in this movie, Patricia Tolman, is a much better Barbara than in the original, mainly because she's not screaming every 5 seconds and running away. She becomes a badass in the second half. And no, it's not Mary Sue bullshit. It's a character that develops from being scared to having the courage to take out these zombies. That's how you do it. Basically like some female characters in The Walking Dead. But this was years before. The cast, you have Tony Todd, yes, the real Candyman, not that bullshit remake that came out this year. It's a remake. It's not a sequel. Fuck you, movie. It's a remake. With, I love Tiana Paris, but that movie should have been Candyman killing people just like he did in the original. Not, oh, he kills white people. No. In this movie, the zombies are both white, black, female. It doesn't matter. They are all kinds of people that turn into zombies. Even a little girl becomes a zombie. Patricia Tolman as Barbara Todd. You have Tom Tolles as Harry Cooper. William Butler as Tom Bintner. You have Bill Moseley in a cameo as Johnny Todd. Russell Streiner as Sheriff McClellan. And the film it goes at a really fast pace, which is something I miss. Officially, initial response to the remake was negative because it's not the original. I know, boo freaking who. I think the original's well made, but it's too slow. And the ending is downbeat. I mean, you have a black lead in the 1960s. As the lead, he's a badass, and then he dies. He doesn't get bitten, just dies. Because they murder him. They think he's a zombie, and they shoot him. I'm like, that's so anticlimactic. And look what they said. Roger Ebert awarded 1 star out of possible 4. The remake is so close to the original, there's no reason to see both. Yes, there is. This is in color. It's violent. It's different. It's not a copy of the original. And it has more imagination. And I'm sorry, the Romero movie is a classic, but this movie added to it. It's not like this ruins the original. No, it doesn't. These recent remakes and horror movies that have come out, a lot of them have ruined the original films or original films that in the series. Just saying, guys. There was no real need to remake a film that lives up to the campy cult appeal it has acquired over the time. But as B movies and remakes go, this one has to bring tired zombies back to life. Yeah. Again, it's still way better than this. Modern criticisms have been more appreciative. Yeah, because it's actually, compare this to the Elm Street remake, or the freaking remake of Poltergeist, or the remake of Halloween, or the remake of freaking, I don't even know, even Candyman that just recently came out. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it looks good, and Tiana Paris is great, but Tony Todd's not the freaking Candyman. It's some schmuck face that couldn't live up to his legacy. Here, Tony Todd is kicking ass and he's got commanding presence in the movie. Rotten Tomatoes give it a 66%, which I really don't care either way because it's from 1990. This film works on so many levels. Normally, remakes are horrible. Yes, especially nowadays. And diverse so much from the original. This one is so close to the original, it's scary. But yeah, again, it's well done. And they said the feminist friendly update of Barbara's too derivative of standard final girl tropes. Hey, I will take this Barbara that's strong, that's not a pussy running from everything, than one that screams half of her dialogue. Just saying, guys. I would like to see some strong female characters in horror that are not Mary Sue and are not bashing men like the Black Christmas remake. That's even worse because that has no point. That's just a feminist agenda film. This is not an agenda film. Also, it's in English. It's not in another language. It's short. It's bloody. It's R-rated. The original was barely an R because it was in black and white. And it's fine how it is. I hate when, the biggest remakes that usually get the biggest criticisms are horror because they're an easy target. But yet we have Disney remakes now. Star Wars got remade. All these other freaking movies got remade. So why can't give this movie a chance? If you want to see a remake in Halloween that doesn't suck ass, see this. Don't see Candyman. Don't see Halloween Kills. Just see something different. A must for every horror fan to see. Donald Reed Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror. Yes, if you've seen the original and you want to see a nicer take on it, this is well received. This is not a 2.6 on IMDb. It's got a way higher rating than some remakes that have come out recently. And unlike Malignant, it doesn't become a cartoon at the end. It knows what it is. It knows it won't be the original, so it tries to do something new. And the ending is different. It's not a carbon copy. I didn't feel like, oh, great, this is like the Psycho remake, where it's the same movie just in color, and they're doing it shot for shot. This is not shot for shot. It does things differently. And I'm sick of people shitting on remakes from like 30 years ago that are way better than the remakes that we see nowadays, where everything is just a carbon copy of the original. Or we have prequel movies where all it is just explaining how the villains were made. You know what's the explanation here? There's zombies, people got bitten, and they turned into zombies in a freaking cemetery, just like in the original. And it's done differently. And they show nudity in this one. I don't think the original has nudity. At least I don't remember anyway. But yeah, it still holds up. I don't care what the critics said, the people said that when they came out. Fuck the critics that said that it sucks. Because it is way better than any remake that has come out in the past 10 years. Horror or otherwise. And I'm going to stick to that story. It is entertaining. If you want an entertaining remake, this is it. This is exactly what you've been looking for because it's not derivative. It's not, oh, this is the same movie. I could see just the black and white version. It's different. It's a different take on the same story, but done in a new way. That's what I'm sick of these recent remakes. They take the same story, they make it longer, and then there's no point to it. You could just go watch the original and you won't lose sleep. This is fine at 88 minutes. If this was 2.5 hours, it'd be too long. You don't need to explain where the zombies came from or give Patricia Tallman's backstory of Barbara. No, it's people running away from zombies in the countryside, near a cemetery, and then in this house where they have to board it up and stay alive. That's it. Basically, Resident Evil done better than the recent movies have. So it is what it is, guys. If you've never seen this version, you can find it on streaming. It's a good remake. Screw the critics, okay? That hated on this. They wouldn't know a good remake if it bit them in the ass with freaking teeth from a zombie. There, I said it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Is it flawed? Yes, like I said, some of the effects are really good. Some of them are kind of dated, but it's still a good-looking remake in the horror genre that still holds up. And if you can watch it, watch it. Don't be afraid that it's a remake. Just go in open-minded and you'll be fine. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review.